Boris, I haven't got the power, you have. Come on, Boris. Come on, pal. Come on, Boris.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to the Handbags, Manbags, Bumbags podcast. Third take, I've got there eventually. This week we are going to be previewing one of Jake's sports this week, and it is going to be, we're previewing the 2022 World Darts Championship. Jake will thank me for doing this, and he'll also thank me for calling him out saying he's King of Darts Twitter.
Yes, also I created darts. Darts would not exist without me, basically.
No, it would not. We have noticed in recent weeks that the content is slowly starting to tailor more towards Jake. I mean, it was Formula 1 and Ralph Randy last week. Yeah. Back to darts this week. Well, it's going to be our Christmas.
Because basically we've realised that he owes us about 20 episodes for exactly. Joining late, so eventually we're kind of pushing the content onto him. But
realistically, next couple of weeks we are going to have to record. Maybe next week we're going to have to record 2 episodes so we can get one pre-recorded to go out over Christmas.
Oh, see if we got time for that. We've got 5 assignments.
We will see. We may be able to take a week off, but we shall see. But yeah, coming up this week we are going to be previewing the 2022 World Darts Championship.
The greatest sporting event of the calendar year.
It's certainly the greatest calendar sporting
that's when you know it's Christmas.
It actually is. Like, you know it's a build up to Christmas when the darts starts. Like,
well, it is 100%. Literally Christmas, like the way I see Christmas is like the early build up, you know, that's when I'm a Celebrity starts. And then just as I'm a Celebrity ends, you got a few days and then the darts starts. That's how you know it's Christmas.
Yeah, so obviously the World Darts Championship does kick off on Wednesday the 15th of December, which is, what is it? That's
11 days?
Yeah.
Nope, 9. I can't do maths. 9
days.
9
days.
A week on Wednesday.
We would have done this
next week. Howler from me.
You can't.
6 plus 11 is 15.
I can't say anything. I can't say anything. The first time I tried to do the intro, it wasn't recording, and the second time I cocked it up.
I got a B in A-level maths, and I just said 6 plus 11 is 15.
But we were going. I was thinking of potentially doing this next week, but it wouldn't have made sense because the championship will have already started before this episode goes out. So it's better to get it done beforehand.
I forget we record in advance.
We record on a Monday, episode goes out on a Thursday, Darts Championship starts on a Wednesday, so it wouldn't really make sense.
Because all I do is turn up and talk, so I forget there's actually an editing process that goes on during the week before the episode goes out. My Wednesday's normally editing this thing. So,
before we start to run out of time, let's start by going through the draw bracket. So we're going to go all the way through, down to the quarterfinal, semi-final stage, all the way to the final, etc. Mm-hmm. We are going to do it quarter by quarter. Jake's probably going to, obviously Jake's going to know the most because he is.
I'm basically relying on Jake
live and breathe darts.
I'm basically relying on Jake to give me background knowledge, and other than that, I'm just going to have to take a punt.
I bet you didn't know this, but I'm actually winning the William Hill World Darts Championship in 2030.
Oh yeah,
you heard it here first.
You're calling this first?
Yeah. In 8 years' time, I'll be world champion.
There's a potential for me to use this as a preview clip, but I already know what preview clip I want to use for this week.
Yeah, imagine if I actually say this.
But you've already heard it.
In 8 years, I actually won the championship.
They've already heard it.
You would have already heard it. Come on, Boris.
I haven't got the power.
You have.
Come on, pal.
Oh, what a clip,
brilliant. Man. Absolutely brilliant. But yeah, let's dive into this.
It looks so stupid if you forgot to put that in now.
I will make a note. I will make a note when I'm editing this that I have to put that clip in.
Well in, Phil. Got me through my A-level business, Phil the Power Taylor.
Come on, Boris. Right, so what's the best way to do this? Should we just say with all the...
Jake goes first and we copy what he says because he knows everything.
All the first round games, we just say who's going to win them, and then potentially... Then obviously we're going to the round 2 games, which is the first round winners.
Yeah, so we've got the quarters in front of us here. So the right-hand side game...
It's the first round game.
Yeah. It's all the right-hand side games are the first games, and then obviously they play... The people on the left, the
seeded players don't come in from the start.
Yeah, they come in round 2.
Yes.
Round 2. So we'll start with, Wednesday's encounters. We'll start off with Richie Headhouse versus Lee Hwang.
So basically...
Jake, help. Help.
Richie Headhouse is winning this 3-0 comfortably because Lee Hwang is not very good.
Well, I can't... I do love watching the darts, but I'm not as into it as... Jake is.
Him,
So I
yeah.
admit I've never heard of these two. So
It's
I will back
To be
Jake and say
fair,
Richie Headhouse.
I've heard of both of them, but I don't know them well enough to predict a score.
No.
But I know Richie Headhouse is, well, he's
Yeah,
supposed to be.
yeah, we
he
go
is
around the way
on
we-
tour,
he's not bad.
So
As you go around the table, the knowledge starts to dip. You've got Jake, who knows everything there possibly is to know about darts, basically invented the sport. You go around to Ben, who knows his stuff. He knows a lot of this. He knows his stuff, but
I know the players, but don't really know the form.
But doesn't know form and stuff. And there's me, who knows like the bigger names and will watch the like TV tournaments and stuff. But people who don't regularly play on TV, I won't have a clue who they are.
Yeah, so it's going to be Richie Headhouse versus Lee Hwang. We're going to go with Richie Headhouse, which then
Back
brings
Jake.
him on to Gerwin Price as a potential round 2 opponent.
I mean, I know this. Price will win that easily.
I think
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
pretty nailed on with Price at the minute.
I can't even see like Richie Headhouse even winning a set. To be honest, like he might win
no.
a couple of legs in a set, but
Yeah,
I can't see him
it's-
winning a set.
It looks sketchy, but we'll go into the next round 1 game, which is obviously the Queen of the Palace herself,
Oh,
Alan
dear.
Sherrick,
Oh dear,
against Steve Beaton.
Poor Steve, the Bronze Adonis. He's gonna get beat 3-1, I reckon.
I was going
3-1.
to say I'd back
Yeah.
Sherrick here.
Yeah,
I reckon she'll go on a little run again.
because Steve is getting on and his form has.
How old's Beaton now? I mean,
he's
he is. I know he's
57, 58.
It's
I
one of
believe
your
now.
LinkedIn connections, isn't he?
Yeah, it actually is. Yeah,
Yeah.
and
It should
his form has been on the decline quite rapidly recently.
Gotta love the Bronze Adonis, but
Yeah,
I
and
think
obviously
he's past it now.
Fallon's surfing on that wave of bloody momentum, so I can't
Yeah.
see anything but a Fallon win because the entire crowd is just going to be behind her, literally.
Yeah, I think
pushing
I
her
think
to
she
win.
could go on a good run again here. To be honest.
Yep. And then the winner of that will play a certain Kim Hybrex. This could be interesting. I reckon.
Kim has been in very good form lately, but I can.
The crowd-
I think Sherrick would beat him as well. To be honest.
I can smell an upset.
Hybrex plays up to the crowd, though, doesn't he?
Yeah, he will give it the big one even against Fallon. He will not care. Which I'm
I'll
looking forward to.
I'd go narrow Fallon win.
Yeah, I actually think Fallon will win 3-2.
Interesting. I'm not sure.
Jake's
I
throwing
this.
Jake's throwing the scores in there as well. I'm just.
I reckon it will go to a deciding set. I think it will go all the way. But I'm going to just edge Hybrex slowly.
Go on,
just
Kim.
shortly. The Battle of the Smiths next. Ross versus Jeff.
Jeff.
England versus Canada.
Yeah, Canadian. His form's been a bit patchy lately. Ross Smith's been playing well, so I reckon
Didn't Ross Smith win on the tour?
Tour,
recently?
yeah, he won his first ever title this year on the tour. So I think it's going to be another close game, but I reckon Ross Smith
to edge
wins
it.
3-1, but the sets will be closer than that.
And then bringing back to the PDC, we're playing a certain
Bring
Stephen
back the
Bunting, who
PDC.
was a semi-finalist in 2020.
Yeah, that run last year.
2021.
Yeah, 2021. That run last year was absolute insanity. I bought into the hype so much. I actually thought he was beating Price in the semi-finals. I nearly lost my mind when he went 4-3 up. But yeah, I can actually see an upset here.
I could see Ross Smith beating
I think
Bunting.
Ross Smith might actually beat Bunting because Bunting has been a bit stinky lately.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he went out early in the Players' Championship, went out in the groups in the Grand Slam, so he's not playing particularly well.
No, I'm gonna mix it up and say Bunting will beat Ross Smith. Then
Go on, big
go a bit.
Bunting.
Okay, next-
I'll go a bit different. For
Next
the fun of
round
it.
1 game
The
is
bullet.
Jermaine Fatamina versus Boris Koltsov.
Well, to be fair, he's actually Jermaine, not so Fatamina anymore.
Not so Fatamina anymore.
Yeah, he's actually lost a lot of weight, to be fair
fair
to
enough
him.
to the band.
Probably should say his real name. Just
Jermaine Watamina.
Watamina.
Against Boris Koltsov.
I think Watamina wins this.
Yeah,
to me.
go on,
Or-
Jermaine.
Jermaine has been.
I mean, they're both
really
not
awful.
that good, are they?
No.
I was going to say Boris because I prefer Boris Koltsov.
I'm going to
really.
say Jermaine
Come on,
because I've
Boris.
heard of him.
Come on, Boris.
I actually prefer Boris
Back the
Koltsov.
one I've heard of, even if it's because I know him as Fatamina.
Well, if we do say Watamina, it would set up an all-Dutch affair.
With
the
Dirk.
Aubergenius,
Yeah,
Yeah.
Dirk
The Titan,
Van
The farmer.
quarter-finalist last year.
Yep.
I believe that
Dirk
will win
wins this easy.
Yeah, go on,
3-1. 3-1.
Dirk wins this easy
Against,
for me.
if he plays Boris, I actually reckon he'd win 3-0. But if he plays Watamina, I think 3-1. But I still think Boris will beat Watamina in the.
Yep.
Yeah.
We now go to Keane Barry versus Roydon Lamb.
Roydon Lamb, what a legend!
Is he the one with those glasses?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He had 50 left ones for the set against Wes Newton. He was like on 2-2. Roydon Lamb just
straight for the
stands there for
bullseye.
ages, like debating, just steps up and just bangs it straight
for the
ball.
bullseye.
And Wes
mad.
Newton's just staring at him, just like. Bro, it was so funny.
For me, I think this is Keane Barry.
Keane Barry all the way, yeah.
He's one of the rising stars, isn't he?
Exceptional young talent, yeah.
I
One
will
of the rising stars.
100% agree with both of you.
Yeah.
And he goes up against one of the standout players in the world this year, really, Johnny Clayton.
The Ferret, yeah. This will be a tough game. If Keane Barry brings his A game, Clayton could be in trouble. But I think Clayton's never really had a run in the world, so I think it's about time,
I was
given
gonna
his
say,
form as well. So
I was going to say I could see Clayton having a run, so I will back him.
Yeah, the ferret to win.
Next round
It's
one
about
game.
time he had one.
Next round one game. I haven't a clue who either of these are. It's Levy Williams versus
Louis Williams.
Louis Williams versus Toyokazu Shibata.
Louis Williams has had some sensational performances this year.
Chibattered. I think he's going to get chibattered.
Yeah, Louis Williams is on the tour now. He's like 19 years old, so he's another young talent. And a couple of years ago, it was at UK Open. I think it was Peter Wright, if I remember correctly, in the UK Open.
I don't know why you're asking us. We won't know, will we?
Yeah, I'm just trying to think out
You
loud in my
invented
own
the
head.
sport. You should know this.
Yeah, so I think Louis wins comfortably.
Come on, Boris.
It's his World Championship debut, but I
Come
still
on,
think he
Boris.
wins comfortably. So yeah, Louis versus Gabriel Clemens. And
Should we just let him do this?
it's a tough game. It's a tough game for Clemens because he hasn't been playing particularly well. But I think
Lost to Fallon in the
Grand
Slam.
I think he comes through that 3-2. I reckon.
I'm
Clemens.
going for an upset. Louis Williams will beat Gabriel Clemens.
Oh,
I'm back.
Controversial.
To be fair,
Controversial.
Just purely because he's the same age as me, I want to back him.
It's possible because like this year there was a tour game where Louis Williams was averaging like 125 after like 5 legs, and it dropped off a little bit. But
Purely on the basis
117.
of the fact that he is the same age as me, and I want him to succeed. So I'm backing him
I'm
for an
slightly
upset.
worried. I think we need to start getting on with this a bit. So let's just
Yeah, hurry up, Jake. Stop waffling.
Ron Moulenkamp versus the Lancashire Rose, Lisa Ashton.
Ron has not been playing very well, but he will beat Lisa 3-1, and he'll play Michael Smith, and Michael Smith will win 3-0.
Easy.
I don't know about the scores, but I agree with the results.
I think the next one's going to be fairly easy. Willie O'Connor versus Daniel Albie. I think Willie O'Connor wins that.
Yeah, no, so basically, the winner of the right-hand side game here, Laube or William O'Connor, gets through to round 3, basically.
Yeah, because they've got Glenn Durran.
Glenn Durran,
sadly,
the biggest decline in darts in recent years.
It's gone from a major winner to
Premier League champion as well.
Not even being as good as me.
Might as well should have retired after winning the Premier League.
Well, to be fair, I can't blame him. He's picking up 15 grand for this, so just for turning up.
Fair
enough.
Yeah, I'd back you then.
I think Danny Laube will beat William O'Connor, and then I think he'll beat Glenn Durran.
I was going to say William O'Connor.
Interesting. Well, we don't know, do we? But
no, Jake's the expert.
no,
I'm just throwing stuff out there.
It's personal choice.
It's
personal choice. Second quarter now. James Wade versus Mike Kivenhoven or Kai Smith.
This is actually interesting. Kai Smith is playing in the same tournament as his dad.
Yeah.
But Mike Kivenhoven wins that, I think, because Kai Smith's its debut. He'll be pretty nervous. But then I think Wade just comfortably beats.
Yeah, I can't see Wade losing to either of them, to be honest.
Although Wade has notoriously been a bit of a bottle job in the Worlds.
Yeah.
Particularly 2012.
I really want to start singing this next guy's chant, but I think
Vincent
I'll get copyrighted. No, don't. We'll get copyrighted.
No, you can do 2 seconds without getting copyrighted, I think.
Vincent van der Voort. Stop.
Yeah, there you go.
So,
right, move on. Adam Hunt versus Boris Kritschmer. How do you pronounce his name?
Kritschmer. And the thing with Boris, he actually did a
Come on, Boris.
He actually did a madness because he was in the qualifiers the week just gone. If he didn't qualify, he lost his tour card.
Wow.
So he come through the qualifiers to keep his tour card. So I think that momentum will see Boris win.
Kudos to you, Boris.
And then he'll play Vincent. And
come on, Boris.
I actually think Vincent, whoever gets through the first round game, I actually think they'll beat Vincent.
Interesting.
I actually think Vincent got out because,
Adam Hunt had a run at the last Worlds, didn't he?
Yeah, I think it was around 3, I believe, which is very good of him because he had never won a TV game before that year.
Cool, I'll back you. You know your stuff.
Let's go.
Yeah, I'm going to say Adam Hunt or thing, potentially.
Yeah, Adam Hunt or Kritschmer will go through into round 3 and beat Vincent van der Voort.
I'll side with Jake.
We'll go for a player. This is Ted Everett versus Jim Williams to play Joe Cullen, a player that's been on the tour for a long time now, and he's one of those very nearly players.
Yeah, absolutely. That is basically the best way to describe Joe Cullen.
A nearly player.
He's got all the talent in the world. He just can't seem to make that next step. But I think the first game, I think Jim Williams will come through. He hasn't played in the PDC World Championship, but he has experience of playing in other World Championships.
You see, I'm slightly edging towards Everts here, plainly because he'll be wanting revenge from last year after losing to Fallon, and he's just been crowned World Youth Champion, hasn't he?
True, yeah, he'll have a lot of confidence, but I think Jim's a bit more
Jimmy.
Yeah, he's not. He's a bit older, more experienced kind of way, because Ted is still quite young. So
yeah,
I think.
I think Joe Cullen will win the second round.
Yeah,
game.
I believe so. Yeah.
If you're giving me the choice here, do I agree with Jake or agree with you? I think on the odds say I've got to go with Jake here and back Williams as well.
Yeah.
Next game,
Simon Whitlock.
Martin Clare-Macker versus John Michael. The big Greekman.
Yep.
Is that a word? Greekman.
Greek.
I don't think might just be Greek.
We'll run with it.
So I think Clare-Macker wins that, and then I actually think he beats Whitlock.
No, Whitlock's going through.
No, Whitlock's been a bit stinky
I
recently.
don't care. He's Whitlock. He's going through.
Whitlock has been in abysmal form.
I don't care.
Like,
It's
really
Simon
bad.
Whitlock. He's going through just
I
because
love
he's
the, I
Simon
love the
Whitlock.
Wizard as much as any.
Oh, we know you love the Wizard. I won't say this live.
no.
I won't say this
You
live.
have to bleep it if we
I
say
will
what
not
Jake
say
wants to
this
do.
live. It'll be quack, 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 quack.
Okay, so this next game is one that really, really piqued my interest. Florian Hempel versus Martin Schindler.
Are they both German?
Battle of the Germans, yeah. I actually think Florian Hempel actually wins this. This will be his debut at the Worlds. And Schindler, although he's been playing well this year, his doubling over the last couple of tournaments
Disastrous.
has been some of the worst stuff I've ever seen on a dartboard.
And then they're going in to play Dimitri Vandenberg.
This could really genuinely be an upset. If Dimi isn't on his game, Florian Hempel, or even if Schindler gets through, they could easily beat him if he's not on his game.
So this is your call for the biggest upset.
Yeah,
of the tournament.
I believe Florian Hempel will beat
Interesting.
Dimitri.
Interesting.
This is Jake's upset of the
Okay.
round. I will
Okay.
disagree and back Vandenberg to go through.
Jamie
play it
Hughes
safe.
versus Ray Smith to play Devon Peterson.
Raymond Smith, that's the father.
Raymond Smith.
Yeah.
Father
Kai
of
Smith.
Kai.
Yeah, I believe Jamie Hughes will win, even though he hasn't been playing very well. I think that bit of extra experience will bring him through. And then,
There's a chance it might be Devon here, I reckon.
oh yeah, Devon. I'm sorry to say, but Devon is finished.
He's already got his eye on
Devon.
commentary.
Yeah, I like Devon, but his throw is just, honestly, it's some of the worst stuff. There's literally no form to it. It's just all just like also raggedy and just horrible. So I think Jamie Hughes will be in. Yeah.
Steve Lennon versus Madars Razma
Oh
to
dear.
play Krzysztof Ratajski.
On the board, this could be a good game, but the pace of it will be horrific. But I believe Razma will win. 3-2.
I've not heard of either of them. I'll be
I
honest, so
reckon
I'll back Jake again.
Steve Lennon is actually the most boring player of it. His darts nickname is Scuba Steve.
Scuba.
Scooby Steve.
Scuba
Steve.
Steve Lennon. Yeah, so...
And then Ratajski is obviously another player which coming through the PDC
yeah,
recently.
I like
Ratajski will win
Ratajski.
that. Ratajski will win
I like
against
him.
I think. Yeah.
Ryan Joyce versus Roman Benecki.
Yeah, but Necky's actually a surprise qualifier. He beat oh bro, why's my mind gone blank?
Come on, you should know
Come
this.
on, knowledge.
Knowledge, strength, integrity. I'll come back to it. Yeah, but I think Ryan Joyce wins this comfortably, to be honest.
And then they're going to Mervyn King.
and
the
actually-
Mervyn
delivery
King, who,
driver.
fun fact, once delivered me an Amazon parcel.
I actually think Joyce beats Mervyn King.
I'd back that as well,
Yeah.
to be fair.
No.
I would back that.
Ah, yeah, that's
Because
it.
I
Roman
have-
Benecki beat Karel Sedlacek in the qualifier, which is a
Because
bit...
I have the slightest association with Mervyn King, I
here
want
we
to
go.
back him to go through.
Into the third quarter now, and now we feature one of Jake's tips to go quite far in the tournament.
I mean,
But
sure, that's
start,
quite-
We'll start with the first round game, which is Ryan Meikle versus Fabian Schmaltzer.
Fabian Schmaltzer is 16 years old.
16.
He's 60. He's the second youngest ever player to compete at the World
And for
Championship.
that reason, I'm going to put him through.
Now, Ryan Meikle will beat him.
Nah, I back
Meikle
him.
will beat him.
I back him.
I'll back with Jake on this
Yeah,
one.
and then Peter Wright will beat Meikle.
Obviously, Peter
Yeah.
Wright will be either of them.
Yeah.
Luke Woodhouse versus the jammy dodger James Wilson.
This could be a tasty game, to be fair, but I believe Luke Woodhouse wins
Yeah.
this.
Yeah, I'd
and then
agree.
he goes up
3-2.
against and goes up another against of Jake's
This could be
favourite players.
another spicy
Damon
game as well.
Hetter.
Yeah, he
Damon
follows me on
Hetter.
Twitter, he does. I think Hetter will beat Woodhouse, but it'll be a really, really
We'll go all the way to 5
quality
sets.
game, yeah.
I reckon I'm going to back Woodhouse, just nab it.
Woodhouse, yeah, to be fair, he beat Michael Smith a few years
Yeah.
ago.
William
So-
Borland versus Bradley Brooks.
This could be a really interesting game as
I'm
well.
going to say William Borland because
I
I know
think-
Bradley Brooks is from Blackburn.
I think Big Willie
Burnley
win
bias
this.
coming
Yeah.
in there.
Yeah, Big Willie wins this, I reckon.
Big Willie.
Yeah.
Good man. Well done.
And-
And they play Ryan Searle, who's
yeah.
got to his first final a
Yeah,
couple of weeks ago.
fresh off the back of making his first major final in the top 16 now, and I believe Ryan Searle wins.
Yeah, I think it's hard not to back
hard
him
not
at
to
the
back
moment.
him.
isn't it?
Such
such a
good
high,
form.
yeah.
Jason Hever versus Juan Francisco Rodriguez. I
yeah.
sounded Spanish when I said that.
Yeah.
it's cool.
Yeah,
Good
'cause
pronunciation.
He's Spanish because he was a surprise qualifier again. He beat Tony
I reckon if I
Alcinas.
did that again, I wouldn't be able to do
Yeah,
it
he
as well.
beat Tony Alcinas in the qualifier.
He peaked at
I
that.
have Pete.
But I believe Jason Hever, the tour card achiever, will win that game.
That's class.
That is brilliant.
That's class.
Well, to be fair, I nicked it off Dan Dawson. But
Well,
he moved.
no, I'm not saying I'm
Right,
not giving you any
credit,
credit for that
yeah.
then.
Dan Dawson, mate, that is brilliant.
Danny Noppert.
I believe Danny Noppert beats Ivor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jason Lowe versus Daniel Larson.
Jason Lowe wins this. Daniel Larson, I can't just take to him. Just like something
That
about
bold
his game.
Swedish man.
Well, it's because his throw. It's just so like snatchy. It's like worse than Dave Chisnell. Because his arm's just so tense all the time. He just snatches every dart. I think Jason Lowe wins comfortably.
I'll back you on that one. And then it's Jose de Souza.
This could be an upset, to be fair, but I reckon Josie does come
Jose
through.
I reckon he's got it as well.
Because he hasn't been in particularly great form, but I reckon Josie does come through.
Scotsman Alan Suter versus Diogo Porteo of Brazil.
Alan Suter wins comfortably 3-0 for Ashton.
You are firing the accents out on these last few, aren't you?
Alan Suter. That's terrible. Move on.
That's in.
He plays Mensa and beats him.
We're keeping that. Suter beats Mensa. Easy.
Yeah, because Mensa has been in terrible form. Fallon has actually killed his career for a second time.
Joe Mernon versus Paul the Legend Lim.
Paul the Legend Lim will...
I've had a lot of laughs this episode already.
will cause an upset, and he will be Joe Midnight Mernon.
Remember when he tried to win the game against Andy Hamilton and hadn't actually won it yet? That was brilliant.
Yeah, and then they play
the Asp.
My other favourite player, Nathan Aspinall, and I believe Aspinall wins that.
Yeah.
This could be an interesting one. Callum Rids versus Yuki Yamada. I think Rids wins that. But then against Brendan Dolan.
I think Rids
beats Dolan as well.
I would also say
even though Dolan's fresh off a major semi-final, I reckon Rids beats him.
Yeah, I think Rids wins that as well.
Quarter.
Oh, this is
Chaz Barstow versus John Norman Jr.
John Norman Jr. What a man!
I can't wait. When does he play, John Norman Jr.? I want to see this game so badly.
I can double check.
I've got the list up on the screen, but I can't actually see where he plays.
Saturday, 18th of December at 7:00.
Let's go.
Yeah, so I think Chaz wins this, but John Norman Jr. getting through would be absolutely insane.
I'm going to say it. John Norman Jr. to get through, just because he's an absolute.
Scores 45.
His first round game is on Thursday.
I thought you meant his second round game.
His first round game is on Thursday at 12:30.
Yeah.
But against Van Gogh, and it is Saturday. I also want to see John Norman go through.
I really, you don't know how much I want to say John Norman Jr. to beat Michael Van Gogh, but I just can't.
Yeah, the thing with Chaz Barstow, he was so close to winning a tour card the year just gone, but Danny Baggish made a run all the way to the final to usurp him. But then, because Chaz was so close, he's played in the Pro Tour all year because people had dropped out. So Chaz is qualified for the World Championships without a tour card. So that shows how well he's played. I think he wins, but then obviously MVG just wipes the floor with whoever he plays.
Rusty Jake Rodriguez versus, isn't he New Zealand, Ben Robb?
Yes.
Thought so.
He played in the Worlds a couple of years ago. I reckon Rusty Jake wins this. He's the younger brother of Roby John.
Both Austrians.
Yeah, this could... Rusty Jake is a really impressive player. Like if he could pulls his game together on the day, he could absolutely batter Ben Robb.
And then potentially batter Doby?
I wouldn't say batter.
Well, not batter, but beat Doby.
Beat him, yeah, definitely. And Doby has been in a bit of patchy form as well. So
I reckon Ben Robb to go through, then do an update purely because his name is Turles at the table.
That's clever. That's a smart way to do things.
So I think Rusty Jake beats Ben Robb, but then I think Doby does just beat Rusty Jake.
Okay.
Ben Robb is making it through to the third round purely because his name is Ben Robb.
Lithuanian Darius Labanauskas versus Charles Losber.
Charles Losber, he's played in the Worlds like 12 years ago.
I'm going to say Labanauskas.
Yeah,
Darius is going to win that, isn't he?
Yeah. And then he plays
Chizzy.
I think Darius caught an upset here. I think he beats Chizzy.
I was going to say the same, but just to be different, I'll back Chisnell.
I think he beats Chizzy. Chizzy has been in abysmal form. Chisnell started the year at like world number 5, and look where he is now, 14th.
We then go into...
Are you tempting the accent again for this one?
No, because this is Austrian. I'm not going to say
No,
Austrian.
Nick Kenny.
What? Are you expecting me to say that in Welsh?
Yeah.
Roby John Rodriguez versus Nick Kenny.
That wasn't bad.
That was not as bad as your Scottish. That was dreadful.
If Nick Kenny turns up, it could be a close game, but I think Roby John wins.
Hang on, were Wales and Austria in each other's World Cup qualifying groups? Weren't they?
I don't know. I just know it's Wales. I just know it's a Wales-Scotland final if they both win. I don't really pay attention to that in semis.
But yeah, I'm going to go Roby John.
Yeah, and then
they play Luke Humphreys.
Yeah, Luke Humphreys wins.
Yep.
Yeah, I like Luke Humphreys. I'd go through.
Aiden Lewis versus Matt Campbell. I know what you wanted to say there, but yeah, let's not.
Yeah.
Aiden Lewis versus Matt Campbell. Adrian Lewis obviously had a very rough time of it over the last couple of years.
From Stoke.
Yeah, exactly. That's why he's had a rough time of it.
living in this.
He's lived there for years. We're a year and a half in, and we're questioning everything.
Yeah,
we've
so,
ever
questioning life choices.
I say upset.
Especially today.
I say upset, but I don't think it's an upset. I think Matt Campbell wins.
And then we go to play Gary Anderson.
Gary Anderson wins.
Bias.
Gary Anderson, who Jake has a flight from, courtesy of me.
Yep, Gary Anderson, my favourite player of all time.
Bias.
It's not even biased. He just
I know it's not biased.
every
I know
year
it's
at the
not biased.
Worlds, he just manages to have a run. How did he make the final last year? Like pure wizardry that he made the final last year.
We go from Adrian Lewis into another potential running of a Stokey, Ian White.
Yep, Scott Mitchell debut, 51 years old. That's an old PDC World debut.
We've got 10 minutes left.
That's fine, bro.
Well, we ain't got that long. We've only got a few games.
We can zoom through.
We'll have to zoom through the court.
Mitchell beats Landman. Yeah, Mitchell beats Landman, and then Mitchell beats White as well.
Cool.
White goes through.
Roman van Barne versus Lauren Zilligan.
This could be a tasty game, but I reckon Barney wins.
Go on, Barney.
And then they play Rob Cross.
And then I think he beats Ross Cross as well.
Ross Cross.
Ross Cross.
Yeah. Chris
Rob,
Cross.
Again, I like Rob Cross, so purely because I like him. I like Barney as well, but Rob Cross to beat Barney.
I think, Barney beats Cross. Your opinion, Ben? What do you think?
I'm going to say Rob Cross.
Fair enough. Okay, next game.
Final game.
Rapid Ricky Evans versus the Royal Bengal Nitin Kumar from India. I reckon Nitin actually causes an upset here. I actually think he beats Ricky Evans.
I'm going to say Ricky on this.
Yeah, I've got to back Ricky.
Back Nitin Kumar.
But then Daryl beats them.
It doesn't really matter because Daryl Gurney will beat either of them.
Gurney will beat either.
Okay, how do we want to finish this off then? Because we have got just under 9 minutes.
Well, I've forgotten who we've put through for these other games. So
how's that? How you forgot, bro?
Okay, let's just put it this way. Let's put our final 2 from each quarter then.
Yeah, that's a good way of ending it then.
And then just go for a winner from there.
Okay.
So for me, for the first quarter, I think it's probably going to be Gerwin Price.
It's
obviously Clayton.
Oh yeah.
Price
Johnny.
Clayton. I think it's got to be there. Unless there's some upsets
I don't
involved.
know. I actually feel like Mike Smith would beat Johnny Clayton.
It's
Mike Smith versus Gerwin Price. I reckon.
Yeah. Well,
personally,
you know more than us.
Yeah.
But
well, no, it's not saying yours. I'd
say Price versus
Clayton. Clayton could easily beat.
I'd say Price Clayton, but
actually, no. I think in mind Clayton's going to go through.
I think he's due.
He plays Gerwin Price, and I reckon Price wins 4-3.
Second quarter, I'm going to actually say, I reckon Joe Cullen could beat James Wade, you know?
Yeah, same. I believe it will be
Cullen Ratajski for me.
Joseph Cullen versus Christoph Ratajski.
Yeah.
That's what
I was going to say definitely Ratajski. I'm not sure
that
about the other end.
That is an incredibly open quarter. The draw.
It is.
Yeah.
It really is.
Just to be different, I'll go Wade over Cullen.
Interesting.
Keep
okay.
Ratajski.
Third quarter, I'm going to go Wright versus D'Souza.
I reckon Snakebite versus Nathan Aspinall.
Yeah, I will agree with Jake. That's what I was going to go with.
Fair enough. Open to discussion. And then the fourth quarter, I think I'm going to go MVG versus Gary Anderson.
I think it's got to be, really, isn't it?
No, I have a theory here. I think Luke Humphreys will beat Michael van Gerwen.
You know what? You might be right. I think even Chizzy could.
Yeah,
if he's on it.
That's the thing. Chizzy, if he turns up, look at last year, he beat Van Gerwen 5-0.
Oh yeah, he did, didn't he?
He pummeled him.
I remember hearing your celebrations after that one.
Yeah. By the way, first quarter when I said 4-3, I meant 5-3 to Price. By the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I'm tempted to
I think Luke Humphreys versus Gary Anderson.
Yeah. So we'll go with that. With that one. So we've got a rough quarter-final lineup. So we'll go back to the first quarter. So it's going to be Price versus Clayton.
And I believe
you're going to say
Price wins 5-3.
I think so.
5-3.
Yeah.
So that's put us in the first semi-final. Second quarter, with Cullen versus Ratajski. It's a
if this happened, this would be literally like the biggest game of either of their career.
Yes.
I'd back Ratajski.
I think McCullen. I think Cullen, personally.
Personally, I think neither.
When I said Wade to be different anyway, I think Ratajski beats Wade. So
go with your opinion. Because we've got different draws now, haven't we?
I'd say Ratajski, personally.
And with yours, you've got Wade versus Ratajski.
I reckon it's going to be either really one-sided or going to be really close.
In my draw,
but I'm going to say Ratajski.
In my draw, I have I've got Ratajski against Wade, and I back Ratajski to beat Wade.
Right, third quarter, Wright versus, we'll say Aspinall, because that was the
majority.
You do your own draw.
Overriding majority.
Do your own draw, bro. Because we need our own winner. We need our own winner.
Okay.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Peter Wright beats Aspinall for me.
I still think Wright beats D'Souza for me anyway.
Yeah, I agree, Peter Wright.
You guys go first because you both had Van Gerwen through. So
who did I say? Van Gerwen.
Gary
Anderson. I think just Gary's going to turn up. You know.
I think
he'll beat.
I think MVG.
Oh please.
Unfortunately for Jake, I'm putting MVG through there.
Well, because of my different draw, I have Luke Humphreys versus Gary Anderson, and I think Ando wins that.
So that leaves for me. It leaves Price versus what? Does he play second quarter or third?
Yeah, he plays second quarter. Yeah.
Right. So that'd be Ratajski for me.
And third versus fourth. Yeah.
So that means it'd be Wright versus Anderson in the
Oh god,
Semi
that
for
would
me.
be that would be one of the worst semi-final lineups possible.
I'm
going
going to say for my final, it might well be it's going to be a repeat of last season's semi-final. Price versus and Wright in the final for me.
Yep, I think I'd go.
Top two in the world playing each other. I mean, that sounds boring, but
so mine's like
it's just
it sounds boring, but that's just what I think it'll be. I think they're just the two standout players.
I agree with your final, but I've obviously got Wright beating MVG instead of Ando in the semis. But I think that'll be close. I think that'll be a closer tie than. But I think Wright narrowly to beat Van Gerwen. Part of me wants to say Ratajski to do an upset because I'm not the biggest fan of Price, but I can't see Ratajski in the World Championship final. So I've got to back
first to 6 sets as well.
I've got to back Price. I can't put Christoph Ratajski in the World Championship final.
The thing with Ratajski is his doubling under pressure can be
stinkeria.
Yeah,
shoddy as hell.
Stinkeria.
Whereas
I can't put him in.
You look at Price. Look at last year's final where he hit double top like 10 times in a row in the semi-finals. Double 10
part of me wants to just because I'm not the biggest fan of Price, but at the same time, the other part of me is already questioning why have I put him as far as the semis. I probably should have put him out earlier.
To be fair, that draw is wide open. That second quarter.
True,
so
yeah. So I think we've come to a consensus
we all
for Wright versus Price final.
I believe so. Yes.
Who
I'd
are
say.
saying?
Peter Snakebite Wright.
Yeah,
well, it's going to be a second world championship for either of them.
Man, yeah.
I think Peter Wright, and if you put it in the scenario, the pressure of the final, I'd back Peter Wright.
I think Peter will get it right once again.
That is dreadful.
I'm pretty sure that's what they said when he won the world.
They did say that. I remember saying. I think it was Rod
Peter
Studd.
gets it right. Yeah.
That is dreadful.
Saying that.
Absolutely dreadful.
There was a couple of things that we noted just because we've got a bit of time left. We've got about 3 minutes. Amount of 170 checkouts during the tournament.
Well, there's many games.
Yep.
Many games.
Go on, Jake.
I don't even know what a good estimate is.
Well, if you don't, then we don't. So that's why you're going first.
I'm just going to throw out something like 83.
Well, bro, that is.
Or is that too high?
Yeah.
Okay.
That would be like two per game on average.
Okay, maybe not then.
I reckon.
I'm going to say 42.
That's still very high. I reckon
31.
That's still very high.
7.
I reckon 10.
I'll back the players 12.
12. Interesting. Highest average.
14.
14. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Jake's not Jake.
You're
Ben's
so
had 6
annoying.
guesses.
You're
So
so
his is
14.
void.
14.
His is void at this
highest
point.
average.
I believe Van Gerwen will have the highest average during the tournament in one single game, and I reckon it'll be like 109.
I think Peter Wright might.
That's not obviously.
It might, and I think it.
Out of the three players, it's going to be.
I reckon
Price,
it could.
Wright,
I reckon it could be
isn't
like a 109 potentially.
That's what I was going to say. 109 for MVG in my
potentially.
I think just play the odds. I'm playing the odds here. I think I will have to go. I think I'll say MVG because it's usually something he walks away with.
Yep.
In the major tournaments.
Yeah. The fact that if he plays Chaz Barstow, I can just see him.
Yeah, just absolutely batter him, won't he?
Yeah, like Chaz won't have a look.
And then the final one we wrote down was a supposed dark horse.
The darkest of horses.
Well, I think.
Well, let's go back to that.
I suppose
picture.
I've got to say Ratajski if we put him as far as the semi-final, surely.
Yeah.
And I suppose it's got to be that. I suppose that's got to be the option.
I'm going to say Joe Cullen because
Joe Cullen. I reckon. I agree.
I'm going to say Joe Cullen because I wasn't sure on Ratajski or Cullen. I just edged with Ratajski, but I reckon Cullen's going to be the dark horse.
I went with Cullen, didn't I? So I have to say Cullen.
Yeah.
I reckon.
I think
it's going to be.
I said he'd get beat by Wade, so I can't say Cullen. So I'll go Ratajski because I've whacked him in the semis.
Interesting. Well, it just does leave it with about a minute left.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect timing, bro.
It is perfect timing. It's actually Jake's turn to. It's either one of your turns to round it off this week because I did last week. Meow. We're not ending.
We're not doing that.
We're not ending.
We're not finishing.
It's technically Rob's turn this week.
Is it?
Yeah, it is.
Well, we're not ending on that either.
We've got a minute to just waffle on, and then you can end it.
Yeah. Well, have we got anything else to cover, or are we all done then?
I don't know, potentially. Well, let's just start looking ahead to next week. I mean,
It's too early for that.
I've got ideas in the pipelines.
Yeah.
Right. I was just going to say Saudi Arabian Grand Prix was mad, basically.
It was mad.
Yeah.
Very mad.
We go again next week. That'll definitely be featuring on next week. So
arguably too mad. But anyway.
That'll probably be a main feature on next week's episode, I reckon. How the F1 Championship plays out.
We didn't last very long last time we did F1, but we will see.
We'll see. Do you want me to outro it then?
The honours are all yours.
That concludes this week's episode of the HMB podcast from me, Ben, and a floating head. Goodbye.
Shut up.